All right, so let's recap from the top. So open house strategy, tonality, body language. We went over that. Watching carefully for their body language. Are you paying attention to their facial expressions? Are you paying attention to their body language when they come in? Because some of them are just right off the bat, right? They're just hand and face, right? Not literally, but kind of they're like not letting you close, right? And so you got to break the ice. Now, what better way to break the ice and to interrupt their train of thought, Martin, than to ask good questions? How do you feel about this space? What do you think about this furniture? How do you feel about the kids' room being separate from yours? What do you think about the neighborhood overall? What do you think about the biggest challenge for this property might be? Okay. Start asking questions right away.
That's a good question. I love that one. What do you think the challenges would be?
Yeah. Right. What do you think the biggest challenges are for this property? Or one that we use often at the end when they're all done. So what did you like? And
oh God, so simple. Why don't we do that? Jesus.
Right. Look, you better be asking questions when they're done. You better be.
I don't open houses because I don't feel like I have a good foundation of what to talk about. But yeah.
Okay, so start asking questions. Now look, these should be number 3. These should be power and fluff questions. Okay. Whoop. Went a little big there. Okay, so these should be power and fluff questions. What's a power question? Here's a fluff question. Oh, welcome to the open house. How did you find us? Do you like the kitchen? Do you live in the neighborhood? Okay, those are fluffy questions. Even living in your neighborhood is a little bit of a power question, but fluff questions are like super simple, easy, fluffy questions. They're not really very important. Okay, here's power questions. Are you looking to move into the property as a homeowner or as or to purchase as an investor? That's a power question. So is your time frame sooner than later, or are you just kind of looking around and you have a time frame that's a little bit further off? Are you purchasing cash or loan? Are you going to be taking out a loan? Now, look, those are straightforward questions. Now, I'm not saying you're asking those questions right at the onset of the conversation, Ivan. We're going to get into a second about how you mix power questions with fluff questions. Power questions with fluff questions. How do you mix that? Okay, because you need to mix those because you guys are easy at asking fluff questions. Those are easy to ask. The power ones, you forget to do that. You forget to do that, and there's the opportunity lost. Okay, so I'm mixing fluff and power questions in when I'm having a good open house. Now, here's how I'm going to tie up a open house conversation is the value add. Value adds great additional value to set an appointment. Okay, what is that? How do you feel about a program that could pay your closing costs? What are your thoughts around off-market opportunities? If we could save you, at least $5,000 in the process, is that information that I could share with you?
Here's my question. When you do say that, how are you going to save them $5,000?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So here's the first way. You're paired with a lender who does stuff like that. Okay. Okay. Now you should have relationships with lenders who offer some sort of incentives, something. Okay.
Well, a lot of them contribute to closing costs.
Right. So find out what that is and then use that as a hook. Now, remember, you're just looking for a hook to use that as a value add, something to add value to the conversation to set an appointment to create a next best step. Okay. You're not trying to sell them. You're not trying to close them. You're just trying to get to the next step. What's that value add? Maybe your lender contributes $3,000 for the UKW agents, Keller Mortgage. I use Keller Mortgage left and right. If you're not a Keller Mortgage agent, don't even ask me because it's only for Keller Mortgage, Keller Williams agents. It's exclusive to Keller Williams agents. But basically they pay your closing costs. But there are lenders who do stuff like that. So don't worry about Keller Mortgage. This is about you providing some sort of incentive. Create a relationship or create relationships with lenders so you can find out what sort of incentives you can use as the value add to ask as a question to create a next best step. Now, look, you could save them $5,000 in the negotiation process. If you start tracking or find out information, if you start tracking your own numbers or find out what your office does as far as your sale price to asking price for buyers from the MLS versus your office. Find out that data. Find out what your average asking price to sale price is, and what that means in regards to how much of a difference that is for buyers in your office. You could use that as, look, our office typically saves our buyers 1.5% to 2% in the negotiation process from asking price to sale price. Okay, that in itself, the negotiation process. Look, the money's won and lost in the negotiation process. Good agents know that. People don't know that. People don't know that. They think we're door openers.
Yeah.
Okay, right? And they don't understand, which is why the agent, the professional agent, there's becoming a bigger discrepancy. And really, I'll be honest with you guys, as the world's changing, the real estate world is changing into two different silos: the pros and the Joes. And you know who the Joes are? Agents who are part-time employees. Okay, that's only going to increase, by the way. Okay,
because they're getting a salary.
Because they're getting a salary, and we all know that that's still quantity versus quality. Okay. We're not going to go down that road, but I'm saying, like, there's a bigger discrepancy growing between the pros versus the Joes. And if you're going to be a pro, they're going to still exist. And they'll always be part of real estate, in my opinion, because of this. People need to be belly to belly with somebody that they can confide in and know that that this $250,000, $500,000, $1 million investment is being held accountable at a high level. Value add. So you ask good questions, fluff and power, then you close with the value add. I'm going to show you how this plays out in the script. Okay, here's how to drive demand to an open house. Super quick. My open house is on Saturday, Martin. On Thursday, we call 250 homes, create a little circle prospecting list. Thursday. Friday, we go knock them. So Thursday, we got the call list. Friday, we go knock that same neighborhood, but only 100 doors. 100 doors really ain't that much, FYI. It's not. Now, whatever your numbers are, whatever, okay? 150 homes called, 50 doors knocked. 300 homes called, 150 doors knocked. Whatever. Get your ass out there and start talking to people. How about? Because you find leads are everywhere. Don't forget. Okay. So this is just maximizing my opportunity, Martin, what I was talking about before, where business should create business. One piece of business should create another piece of business. Now, if you're serious, these are my models and these are my systems. Holding yourself accountable to executing those models and systems. Okay, 10 signs minimum, more is better. Balloons help for visual markers. Try to keep the signs within eyesight of each other if possible. That's real vague. I mean, that's really, there's a lot of wiggle room there. I know there's a guy in my office who I coached personally, who crushed open houses and when before COVID, he was getting 25 to 30 parties to attend his open houses on average. Now that dude he would put out 40 signs, and he had those big ass huge flags in front of the house. And I mean, it was a big ordeal. He got 30 people to show up to his house, and he get 2 to 3 bona fide leads for every open house. Now, I ain't working with buyers, so I ain't about that. But my team is. Because I want that money, Martin. Why should I let that money slip away? That's paying my staff. That's paying some of my marketing bill. Okay. Flyers at the open house. Got to have it. Find the right homes to... now, this one's a little tricky. In a normal market, this is a good rule, but you got to be careful, because in hot markets... you still might want to prospect and look for homes to do open houses on that have a little lower turnover ratio, because the demand is so high. So picking the right property based on the turnover ratio in the neighborhood, right? So the number of homes sold the last 12 months divided by the number of homes in the neighborhood will give you the turnover ratio. You usually want at least a 7% turnover ratio, meaning people are moving. This is to ensure that you're around people that are considering moving at a higher rate. Because look, you get what you look for. So if you're looking for not only buyers and also sellers at your open houses, because I forget the NAR stat, Don. I can't remember what it was. It was the National Association of Realtors stat that X% of buyers who walk through at an open house have a property to sell. You asking that question? Hey, so you already owned your own home, or you're renting and you're just kind of looking around because you want to buy in the future? Now, I use that line all the time in the internet script. It's in your book, okay? But because I have the scripts embedded in my mind, Martin, I easily ask those questions and they pop out when I know that they're relevant. Okay. So I'm talking to somebody at an open house and they're mentioning something, and then I drop a power question like that one, which was, hey, so do you own your own home, or you're renting and you were looking to buy in the future? The number was like around 50%, give or take 10%. 40, 50, 60%. It was a high number. Even at 40%, like it was a high number, Don, where I was like, wow,
It is a high number.
Well, look, it's real. I mean, you know that. You've been in business long enough, right?
Yeah.
They are. But and look, I'm not asking. You want better conversations? Ask better questions.
You only buy your first home once. After that, you have to sell to buy another one,
Right. That's right. Line of the day right there. Amit. You only buy your first home once. Love it. Okay. Open houses newer to the market are like fresh fruit. So if you're doing open houses on so the E was about picking an open house on someone else's listing, not necessarily your own listing, Martin. So that was about finding an open house to do on someone else's listing to have a more effective open house. And so efficiency carries over in letter F there when we're talking about doing open houses that are newer to the market. So doing an open house that's been on the market 60 days, it's like trying to sell rotten bananas. I mean, everybody knows they're rotten. I mean, is that really what you want to sell? Rotten bananas? Everybody knows. Okay. Confidence is king. Make sure that your confidence is at a high level when you're doing these open houses. So your energy, your intention, your body language, we talked about that before, right? All need to be make sure that the energy that's exuding from you is inviting and comfortable. My father-in-law he retired. He was the executive butler for casinos at the Caesars Palace and at the Hard Rock Hotel. And so he would take care of he was in charge of all the butlers, and it took care of celebrities, and we called them whales and Georges, Vegas terms. High rollers, big high rollers, right? And he was always very, hey, so welcome to my house, welcome to the show. And he had a beautiful name. His name's Valentino. I'm Valentino. That's how you got to be at your open house. To an extent. That's your show. That's your stage, man. Now you don't have to be okay, but you need to be. I don't know what happened to my color there. Look at that. I turned green. Okay. So you're going to need, though, to be really intentional about your energy, because remember, they're walking in, they're strangers. They've probably been to other open houses where they've been uncomfortable because the agent at the other open houses were a little weird. And so the agent was weird, and then they're weird, and then they're walking in and they don't really want to sign too much, or they don't want to give too much information. And so you got to get real with creating that energy. You can't wait for it, Ivan. Okay. You got to create it. You can't wait for it. Create, don't wait for that energy to be able to warm up that conversation and allow a good conversation to ensue. Okay. Allow it to ensue, but you got to create it. Okay. Questions, comments, concerns?
Love it.
Okay.
It makes so much sense.
I want to role play the open house script. Okay, so here's the open house script. Now it's broken up into really 3 sections. Okay, the open, the key, and the close. Okay, now the open's the open. I'm going to get there. The key is either it's the most important part of the house. So usually it's the kitchen or the backyard. The kitchen or the master bedroom, could be the backyard. So you're gonna greet them. You're gonna let them go, and then you're gonna catch them in the key. And then you're going to let them go, and then you're going to catch them at the close. Now, in that process, you're going to be asking fluff and power questions at the beginning. Let them go. You're going to be asking a fluff and power question when you catch them in the key, in the kitchen or the master or the bedroom or whatever's like really whatever area of the house shines the most, that's the key, okay? And then you're going to let them go. And then you're going to catch them before they leave. Now, this is ideal. Not every open house is going to go like this. Not every interaction is going to go like this. But I'll tell you, 95% of them should. Okay, you have multiple people walk in and you're kind of figuring out what to do. Okay, you might get caught up on not being able to actually catch them in the key, or your close is going to be a little short. Okay, and then you have close questions right there. Okay, I should role play this for you because I don't think any of you guys are familiar with the script yet. Yeah, you want to hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay, who's going to be my open house attendee?
Let's do it, Paul.
Okay. All right. Hi, welcome to my open house. I'm Paul. What's your name?
Hi, my name's Amit.
Hi, Amit. Welcome so much. I really appreciate you coming by. Hey, can I give you this information here on the property?
Yeah.
Okay, break script. There's your first agreement right there, Ivan. Okay? Don't hand them the script. Ask them if you can give it to them. Of course they're going to say yes. Okay? There's my first agreement right there. Bam. There's our first deal. There's the first deal done. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, so do you live in the area or were you just driving by, Amit?
I want to move into this area.
Oh, okay. You wanted to move into this area, right? So you live close by and you were just kind of driving by, or how did you find us?
Yeah, I live on the east side, but I just got married and we're thinking of having kids, so we want to, a little bit safer neighborhood.
Wow, you just got married. Congratulations. How long ago was that?
Just a couple of years now, and we're thinking about kids seriously.
Oh, gotcha. So more space is something that you guys are taking into consideration. That's awesome. Hey, do you mind signing in here just for the seller's request with everything that's going on with COVID and everything? It's like really important to keep track of who's coming into the house just for security's sake. Mind just doing that right here, please?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Now, is this an investment home or are you looking for this home to buy to live in?
Oh, yeah. If I bought it, I'd be living in it.
Yeah, I know. And you mentioned having more space for with your wife and to have more space for the family. And I was just curious. You never know. I mean, people are buying investment properties all the time.
Yeah.
So listen, go ahead and Amit, feel free. There's 3 bedrooms up front here. The master bedroom's in the back, huge open floor plan. And wait till you get a look at that backyard. So feel free to go ahead and look around. Okay, break script. Okay, questions, comments, concerns?
That was pretty good. Good way to break the ice, make them feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Now look, every question, I ain't talking about that. Okay. All I'm talking about is ask some good questions at the front end. Don't let them come in and ask no questions. Shame. We know your name. Don't do that. That's amateur. Go pro. Come on. You need to step up your game. You're supposed to be the high-level communicators and influential people. When they come in, that's the onset to create that energy of, I'm welcoming, I'm inviting, you can trust me, no pressure, just a little bit of information. Go ahead and do what you need to do. Do what you need to do as the agent and ask a few good questions. Okay, so I catch Amit in the backyard, right? Hey, Amit, so what do you think of the backyard here?
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, I don't like all the trees and stuff. It's way too much shade and creepy crawlies.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's a lot of trees, but the good news is that you can trim a lot of these branches up here, which I think would allow you to create some more sunshine back here. How do you feel about the size though of the lot, this nice big lot here?
Yeah, the lot, the house size is fine. Nothing wrong with that.
Okay, so it's not too big. You wouldn't have a problem with that.
No.
Okay, good. Now, what else is really important for you when you buy?
Honestly, the most important thing is the kitchen. My wife's she loves cooking and a big kitchen with a lot of cabinets. So
yeah,
I don't really know about this one. This one seems kind of small and it's electric.
Yeah.
Stove.
Yeah. A gas for sure is like a deal breaker, or if the house was perfect, electric would be something that you could deal with.
I mean, we've been renting the last couple of years, and the only thing we've been talking about is damn, can't wait to have our own gas stove,
Yeah, I'll tell you, I cook a lot, so I know how important that is. And you mentioned you guys needing to get more space. So do you own your home now, or you were renting?
No, we're currently renting. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Okay, break script. Now that's where I'm going to let them go. I'm going to go, hey, go ahead and visit the rest of the property, and I'll catch you before you leave. Okay. Now it doesn't matter where the key is, where you catch them. But catch him in the key and ask him a few good questions. Now, there was questions off of the questions. You guys catch that? Yeah. A couple little tie downs. Now the space is good. Okay, so the space is not a problem for you. You like there's no problem with the space. He already had said that, but I doubled down on it and tied them down on it, Martin, because look, I'm just trying to establish rapport, and some people do have a problem with a lot of space. Right? Now, Don, he gives me something, he agrees with it, and then I double down and tie it down. Oh, this is why I love coaching, because I make so much shit up. Okay. This is here's what this is. This is a double tie down. Okay. This is a double tie down. Do you like that? So here's a tie down. Is that okay? A tie down is a question that just ties the question down, but a double tie down is when they agreed with something and then I double it up and tie it down. So they just told me something, right? They go, look, yeah, no, I like the yard. The yard's good. And I go, oh, so you like the yard, right? So it wouldn't be a problem for you then. No, it wouldn't be a problem for me. I just doubled up what he said and tied it down. Why? Only rapport. Only rapport. It's the only reason I did that. That's a double tie down right there. I just made that shit up right here, right now. When they say, now look, it's all, when you study high profile communicators, they're doing a lot of things sometimes that they don't even realize that they're doing. But when you study what they're doing, and I do that, I love doing that. I love watching high level communicators and watching the little tiny little things that they're doing to create better connectivity. That's one of them right there, that little double tie down. Somebody says something, you double it up, you reiterate it, and then tie it down. And then they go, yeah, that's exactly how I feel. That's just an inch more. Now, look, that's not magic, Ivan. That's not magic, but that's a little bit more of rapport. Little bit more rapport. Who wants more rapport? Say me.
Me.
All right. So I'm going to catch him before he goes. All right. So, all right, Amit. So you got done looking at the property here. What's your offer?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know, Paul. Not too sure on this one.
No, not feeling it as much. I mean, so what do you like about the property, Amit?
Everything's fine. Even the yard I could deal with, but looking at this kitchen, I just, if I'm buying a property, if it was renting, it's one thing, but
Yeah. So really, the kitchen's a deal breaker as far as the size. I mean, is there any way to overcome it, or?
I mean, unless the seller is going to do a full remodel for us, but I doubt it.
I'll ask, but. I mean, I don't know, man. That's a big one. But hey, look, there's plenty of properties out there to look for. What price? Do you have an idea what you would buy it for? I mean, if you were the type of buyer who'd be attracted to this house, you think the price is pretty fair? For the seller's sake, I love to get feedback. What do you think about the price?
I don't think there's any issue wrong with the price. I mean, I know that it's a hot market. I know, you can't be crazy with your expectations. So.
Sure. Okay. Just outside of personal matching, it's more of about the price seems okay. It's just not as much of a personal match for you. And I totally get that. And just out of curiosity, Amit, have you already signed a buyer agreement with another agent, or were you just kind of looking around on your own?
I mean, I'm looking online, Zillow, they show you the open houses. So I go every weekend, and then, if I have to write up an offer, I know that, I have an old friend who I know has his license, so I just asked him to write up an offer.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, hey, the convenience these days of the internet, and hey, Zillow's an outstanding place to window shop. I mean, I wouldn't disagree with that in a second. And yet, when you're ready to really get serious, and now, if you saw the perfect home, would it be a problem to buy a house in the next 60 to 90 days?
No, I'm ready to go. I'm pre-approved.
Okay. All right. And let me ask you another question, Amit. If there was a program that I could share with you on how to save at least $5,000 in the closing process, would that be something I could share with you to at least be considered as a professional to help you write up an offer if I could help you find something that you liked? Would that be unreasonable?
I mean, if you really think you could save me $5,000, I mean, yeah, I don't have an issue.
Okay, break script. Okay. Now that's one way to go, right?
I was wondering when you were going to bring up those, what you could do for them as far as closing costs and other things.
Not to the end, or until I feel like, let's say the conversation's speeding up and I feel like they're getting ready to break, then I might throw something at them to get them to pattern interrupt them. I might throw something at him and be like, well, hey, wait a minute. If there's a program where I could pay your closing costs, I wouldn't say it like that. I'd say, if there's a program that paid your closing costs, would that be something I at least give to you guys or share with you? And they go, well, okay, whoa, foot's in the door. They go, no, I'm going with my friend. Oh, okay, fine, bye. Now, I use a seller trial close there because it came to me because I knew it was something to understand time frame at a better at a higher level. Hey, if you saw something you really liked in the next 60 to 90 days, would that be a problem for you? And he goes, no, it wouldn't be a problem for me. Okay, perfect. Now, if he bucks on I know a friend, so kick back on I know a friend. So if I that $5,000 to at least $5,000 on closing costs to help you buy a property, would that be a problem to sit down and talk about that, Amit?
You can send me some information, but like I said, I have an old friend, that I'd use to write up offers.
Sure. No, I totally hear that. And look, what I hear you saying is going with a transaction like this. I mean, you want to make sure that you look, you can only buy your first home once, right? Right.
Yeah.
So look, you got to go with somebody you can trust. And I totally respect that. And so you said I could send you the information. Now this email is a little squiggly here. Is it 123 at ABC? Is that right there? 123 at ABC?
No, you're reading it wrong. Yeah. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So that's the correct one right there. Got it. Perfect. And let me ask you a question. How do you know that agent again?
It's just someone, my dad, we grew up with their family and he just got his license. And so I just, if someone's going to make a commission anyways, I figured, why not have my friend make some money,
Sure. I mean, so it was your dad's friend or friend of the family, or you're actually friends with them?
Dad's friend, family friends, it's my dad's friend's kids. So we're kind of the same age.
Oh, gotcha. And you guys are really good friends, or, I mean, you just kind of know each other through your dad?
We go far back. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, hey, look, I totally respect that. And look, the bottom line is, I mean, you're not going to do anything as far as moving forward and negotiate, putting an offer in on a deal unless you feel comfortable with the process and it's the right property. Is that what I hear you saying?
Yeah.
Okay. So look, if we go over that information, Amit, and you know that beyond a doubt that that's going to be the best route for you as far as considering on saving you money. And maybe there's some other things that we discuss as far as that you weren't aware of, or that maybe is part of the service that your friend may not provide. I mean, you'd at least be open to saving that money. And maybe, so are you familiar with off-market opportunities?
No, I don't know what those are.
He didn't mention that, off-market opportunities?
No, I haven't really talked to him, to be honest.
Okay. So look, obviously talking to him makes sense. I get that. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that. So, I mean, at least when you go shopping for sneakers, you probably look around at a couple different stores as far as price or design, right?
Yeah.
All right. So look, let's do the same thing here. I promise that I'll bring you information, Amit, that will absolutely guarantee saving you money, and may even be an opportunity to find properties that are not even on the MLS that we can talk about how to take advantage of that. And so when you do that, you'll figure out from there what makes sense for you. Because look, bringing information is part of my job. So why don't we sit down, just a casual conversation, you and I and your wife. When are you guys usually together?
Usually Fridays we both have off.
Okay. So why don't we do this? Maybe 5 o'clock, or does 7 o'clock work better? And we'll have like a 15, 20-minute conversation. What works better for you?
Probably 5.
Break script. Okay. Questions, comments, concerns?
Would you say that when you did something where I felt like you were getting an inch? I think you were like confirming about the friend or something like that, but did you use an inch in there to get more information? And if so, can you elaborate on that? Or not to get information, but to build that rapport or whatever?
To gain an inch?
Yeah. Was that in there?
I'm not sure which part you were talking about.
Yeah, I should have took some more notes. But anyway, it's still pretty great. I just noticed that he was talking about the friend, and then you started asking more about the closing costs. That's how you guys went into that. But then you did reiterate, I understand that you have a friend that you would be talking to, and that's great. But if we had new information, yada yada yada, I feel like you used an inch somewhere in there. Can you tell us more about what that means for you, trying to gain an inch? Or
Yeah, so inches are small spaces of opportunity for me to take advantage of the conversation. So inches are that's just slang. I'm just using that as slang. On an inch is a small space, as a measurement of a small space. So in the context of this conversation, I'm using it in terms of, are you listening carefully enough to ask a good question that gives you a little bit more room to work? Now, what that is, it's their friend. Okay. And so I asked them, okay, so there's another term I use when I'm coaching. It's called a snake charmer. So a snake charmer is a double pronged question. It's a question with two possible outcomes, and my preferred outcome is on the end. Okay. So I say, hey, so this is a friend who you knew you pretty well, or you just kind of knew each other because your dads were friends? I call it snake charmer because it looks like fangs, and I'm going like this all the time, and I'm going to hypnotize you. Okay. Right. So it's a double prong question though. It's a double prong question. I don't have a better name for it yet. It's a double prong question that has my preferred outcome on the end. Okay. So in that case, I was like, so you guys are good friends, or you're more friends because your dads were friends? No, we're kind of more friends because my dad was friends. Oh, okay. Because he had said something in the conversation that led me to believe that like they weren't tight homies. Like, not because he would have said it. He said, no, they're kind of friends of the family. Okay, that says that.
And just to make sure you're checking yourself that you're listening, but it also helps you get rapport and an inch with them. But you're really checking yourself.
Yeah.
That's cray.
Yep. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Other questions, comments, concerns?
I thought it was great because you created a little bit of separation subconsciously between him and that mortgage agent because he was more friends with the father.
So tell me about that. What did you hear in that, Vince?
You were digging a little deep. Are you guys really, really tight and everything, or more friends because of the family, really? It's kind of, you separated a little bit so that whoever was answering subconsciously would be on a teeter to either side with their answer, with their rebuttal.
Yeah. Yep.
Look,
right. And so that's sometimes you guys often they're okay. So sometimes they're giving us inches and we're not listening. Right. Yeah, I was a friend of a family. Whoa, time out. Let's find out what's going on there. There's an inch. The inch is now look, they always give us inches, even when they reject us hard up front. They always give us inches. Always give us inches. I'm not doing anything right now. I know someone. You know someone. Tell me more about that. Look, I'm just not ready yet. You're not ready yet. See, we're so concerned with closing. We got such bad commission breath because we don't have enough deals that we're just trying to grasp at everything we can get.
Also, some of the scripts we start off with are insanely just about closing, especially when you're a new agent. You're getting scripts from your brokerage a lot of the time, depending on where they're from. It might just be about closing, and that's drilled in your head.
Yeah, well, a lot of scripts suck. And they're written by people who have never really sold anything.
That's how I found you, because I was watching YouTube, and at that time I didn't really understand how you guys were, doing the role playing. I would watch you and a few other people, and I thought, this is complete BS. They've got their friends on the other line, and they're just fake role playing. And then one day I was watching your videos, and I saw the banners pop up, and it was describing why you were saying what you were saying. And I was like, wow, motivation plus situation plus motivation, great conversation, pump fake. When I saw that, I was like, all right, let me try this one day. And I had a phone call, and it went far beyond 5 minutes. It was like a 20-minute phone call. But I kind of dropped the script. I used Mike Ferry and you, But before I know it, I was having a 20-minute conversation where I was really answering their questions, handling their objections, and just having a good ass conversation. And I closed the deal a couple weeks later. So that science behind it. Good
You
script.
just let me just I want to address what you just said, because that's freaking hilarious. I totally forgot that pump fake.
Yeah, I've been waiting to drop some stuff on you about that.
Pump fake. Oh my god. So look, some of this stuff, I'll be honest with you, some of this stuff is so on the fly. I'm really good at breaking down and analyzing the conversation. So this is a pump fake. Don, you watch football?
I do. It's an audible.
Omaha. This is a pump fake. Okay, this is a pump fake. Okay, now the term pump fake, for you guys don't know, it's a football term. Okay, now the term is that they have the ball, the quarterback has the ball, the guy who throws the ball, right? And the pump fake is he pretends like he's gonna throw it, but he doesn't throw it. He pump fakes it. He's gonna throw it, but he doesn't throw it. It's a fake, right? So he pump fakes. Okay. The reason why I came up with that term on that close was you close, but then you take a detour and then you close. It must be a long time since I said that. So you close, and this is how so it sounds like this. Let me see if I can do it. Look, Martin, we can meet Tuesday at 4 or Wednesday at 6, because the thing is that you're not going to do anything unless it makes sense for you, right? Okay, break script. So, all right, you see what I just did there?
Yeah, I've used it once, and I felt like I was cheating somebody, because you have to be comfortable as hell to use that one, because they don't even know they're setting an appointment.
Well, now look, you don't use that till you're at the tail end of the conversation. I mean, you've had a really good conversation, and then you're using it's almost like a pattern interrupt.
Yeah, it is.
It's almost like a pattern interrupt where I ask you a question, but before you can answer, I interject another question, which you answer the way that I want you to answer. And then once you answer that, I have just an inch more of alignment, and then I reclose you. It works. But you have to understand what you're doing, because you can't, that's super high level there. So some of the videos that you guys may have watched on my team in Vegas, we would sit there and we would hotbox role play, like we called it boiler room, where we just sit there and role play and role play and role play. And we were constantly tinkering with how we were interjecting with conversation, constructively, creatively, collaboratively. And that was one of the things that we came up with, was that, like, I'm going to ask you, I'm going to close on you, but I'm going to interject there and ask you another question that you're in agreement with, and then close you. And the ability to convert you raises. That's some high level shit right there. All the foundation of good sales. Look, at the end of the day, if you're not talking to people and creating good conversation, I don't care where the lead comes from, you have to be a better communicator. And people don't respect that. But they say real estate's about relationships. Really? Well, how come you suck at it? You don't respect the fact that this is about connecting with human beings. And the pump fake, that's humorous, right? That's a little parlor trick. But at the end of the day, what am I doing to understand how to maneuver through resistance and rejection? Because there is 3 levels of resistance. It's in the playbook. I don't know on what page it is, but there's 3 levels of resistance for your ability to maneuver through reflexive resistance and reactive resistance, and understanding that you're in responsive resistance, because you're a salesperson and you're a stranger. And even if it's my database is going to buck on the price. My database is going to buck on the process. They just are. And I'm going to have to either compromise my standards or uphold my standards. Compromise my standards or uphold my standards. All right. Love you guys. Thursday, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. I will not be wearing a turquoise shirt because it confuses Zoom.